previous video of mine, we have seen how to find the initial basic feasible solution for the transportation problem using northwest corner method and least cost method. And in today's session, we will see how to find the initial basic feasible solution using row minima method. I've taken the same problem which I've had taken for solving. I've taken the same problem for this method also. We will take the same problem and solve using different methods and see if there are any different initial basic feasible solution we are going to get, and which method gives us the best initial basic feasible solution. Once we learn all the methods, you will understand this. To start this method, as the name itself says, row wise you have to choose the minimum cost for the allocation. I'll show you how to do it. In the step 1, out of this cost matrix, in the first row, this says row minima. Row wise you have to consider the least cost cell for the allocation. In the first row it is 10. So for the allocation I am going to choose S1 D4. So this problem is balanced, as we know in the previous methods we have checked for the balanced problem or not, and this problem, whatever I have considered, is a balanced problem. So I am going to allot for this particular cell. If you check supply and demand, supply is less, so I am allocating supply, and demand from the destination 4 was 14. We have given 7 more is required for destination 4. So now if you notice, the whole row is eliminated. If the D4 was eliminated, there were 3 more elements remaining in the first row. Unless you complete all the allocation for all the elements in first row, you can't go to second row. Now in this condition, in this case, we have satisfied the first row, so you can go to the second row. So while going further, now S1 is done. I am left out with S2, S3 and all the destinations. D4, this is supply, demand, I'm just copying down the remaining elements. 5, 8, 7 and 7, which is 27 and 27. Now it is balanced, so we have copied down the elements properly. In the second row, now this happens to be the first row. So out of these elements, you have to allot for the cell which has the least cost. So this cell has the least cost with 30 cost 30. So 8 is less. This is done. We are left with one more item in S2. In the next step, we have S2, S3, D1, D3, D4 and supply. So this is 19, 14 plus 5, 19. So in the first row, in the same row, we are left out with 3 more elements in the first row. Out of these, choose the cell which has the least cost. Supply is less than demand, so I've given supply. We are left out with 6 more elements. Moving on to the next step. Step 4. We are left out with only one row and 3 columns, D1, D3, D4. Supply, demand, $40, $70, $20, $5, $6, $7 and $18. 11 plus 7, 18. So this is also balanced at this step. In this row, we are left out with only one row. In this row, this cell S3D4 has the least cost. Demand is less than supply. So this is done. And the remaining elements I've just copied down. Hope you are able to follow this. If you have any doubt in solving the problem, please comment so that I can solve for you again if you want. Please don't forget to subscribe for our channel. $40, $70. So in these two elements, 40 is least and demand is less than supply. So I've given demand here and I'm left out with only 6 elements, 6 products with source 3. Step 6, we have S3 and D3 with supply 6, cost 70 and demand also 6. So I'm allocating this. So supply and demand is satisfied with this allocation. So you have to do it till you satisfy supply and demand. So once we are done with allocation, the next important thing which I want all of you to do is writing the allocation table. It is also called allotment table. You can call whatever you want. I want you to write down all the allocation, whatever you have done so far. D1, D2, D3, D4. So in the first step, allocation was for S1 and D4. I'm writing it down here. S1 and D4 with allocation 7 and the cost 10. Okay. And from step 2, the allocation was for S2 and D2. S2 and D2 allocation was 8. Cost was 30. From step 3, it is S2 D3. So S2 D3 allocation 1 with cost 40. And from step 4, it is S3 D4. S3 D4 with the allocation 7 and cost 20. From step 5, it is S3 D1 with 5 and 40. From step 6, it was S3 D3 here with allocation 6 and cost 70. Now we will find the initial basic feasible solution, that is allotment multiplied by cost. 8 into 30 plus 1 into 40 plus 5 into 40 plus 6 into 70 plus 7 into 20, which is 70 plus 240 plus 40, that was a 2200 plus 120 6 into 70. So by adding all of this, we've got initial basic feasible solution as 1110. I've considered it as it is in rupees. So this is the final answer we are going to get for the problem using row minima method. In the next session, we are going to learn about column minima method. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos. Thank you.